T-Bone and Heather in the morning on Star 98.3 and 97.7 The Bay.
It's 12 minutes after 7 o'clock, 7:12. Thrilled? That's not a big enough word.
Here's Johnny.
Yay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's cold outside. I'm still shivering. My bones are shaking in my skin.
It is so cold. And with that wind blowing, it is just biting. It's a biting wind.
But on the plus side, I didn't have to comb my hair this morning because I got to wear a hat.
Oh, good for you. Yay.
This kind of weather is all about staying indoors, watching some movies.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So real quick, let's just do a recap last week. I know we missed Captain America: Brave New World. Was out.
How did you like it?
I liked it a lot. I mean, here's the thing is, I think these movies keep getting hit on the jaw because they're not. It's like, you went on the roller coaster, you got to the highest height of the roller coaster, and now you're just doing the little loop-de-loops at the bottom. So those loop-de-loops are amazing, but you just went on the big hill, so it's not as it doesn't seem as cool. After Avengers Endgame, it's a weird catch-22 because you've hit the highest height. That was an amazing achievement, and nothing is going to seem as big after that. And we as viewers, we know that, but at the same time, we feel let down. We go into something that's not up there.
And don't you feel that when it comes to these that entire genre of movies, people try to measure them like, I'll use a food analogy. You can't measure fast food against super healthy, balanced, nutritious meals.
100%.
And those type of that's fast food. It's delicious.
Yeah,
but you should know that going in.
Don't talk to me about plot holes in a movie where the president becomes a giant rage monster.
Right.
Exactly.
It's not.
Exactly.
I mean, and look, there's a level at which it's distracting, but these movies are supposed to be fun, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, that's the thing that people are leaving out. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So just wanted to touch on that since that was probably the biggest release of the first.
How did
quarter.
Harrison Ford do as
he was
A
great.
president and B Red Hulk?
I mean, I think he always has that Hulk rage in him.
Yeah.
You can always see it simmering.
He seems
grumpy,
like it,
But he seems grumpy, but also like the best grandpa you could have. Like, he always looks angry, but really right under the surface is a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was great. And Anthony Mackie's always awesome. So I mean, it was. If you haven't seen it because of some of the reviews, don't pay him any mind. You're gonna have a good time seeing that.
Good.
Excellent. Now, what do we have coming out this week?
This week is a good week. Surprisingly, because the movies that are on the schedule could have gone really either way. First is The Cleaner with Daisy Ridley. So this is about of course, a former operative, a former soldier who is now a window cleaner. At a high-rise building.
That could happen.
And, of course, her little brother's company works in that building and is taken over by extremists during a party. Might sound familiar. It's basically the plot.
Die Hard.
It's Die Hard.
Except for instead of a New York cop coming to visit his wife, it's a woman that's cleaning the windows on the outside of the skyscraper.
Gotcha. A lot of people killed with a mop.
Yes. As
handle.
ridiculous as that sounds, it is really good. It's a lot of fun. Daisy Ridley is. I mean, we kind of. I don't know. I mean,
who is she?
Obviously,
Star Wars.
She's Star Wars.
Oh, gotcha. Right.
And Star Wars, you'd obviously think is an action movie, but it's not like a Jason Statham action movie type thing, and that's what this kind of is. Her action scenes are more meted for the end. Everything before that's more stunt work, but she I'll be darned if she didn't hold her own.
Good.
And it was surprisingly a ton of fun. There's another movie like that that's out on streaming called The Gorge.
Watched it.
Okay, so you guys saw that.
It was fun, yeah.
Miles Teller
Yeah.
and Anya Taylor-Joy, they're two operatives or whatever that are stationed on either side of a giant gorge. An evil shows up, and they have to join forces to fight it, and they find they have a lot in common. The chemistry between those two made that movie what it was. And
it was great.
It sounds ridiculous. Two people on either side of a big hole in the ground that have to fight a bad guy, but you don't need to be complicated to have a good movie.
You know what they did with that movie that was great is just like you said, the premise is they are on either side of this gorge, and the whole. It was almost like when you watched Jaws the first time and you just had the music and you see a fin, and you're like, how big is that fish? So you never knew what's in the gorge.
Yeah.
So the tension is all about what in the hell is down there?
What's in the gorge?
What's in the gorge? And then the guy was like, when he was leaving, he's like, there's a scene where he's like, so I'm supposed to keep and he points across the gorge at the other side. I'm supposed to keep them from coming. He goes, oh, no. Don't worry about them. You got to keep what's in the gorge from coming out. And then he leaves.
Right.
And you're like, well, what in the hell's in the gorge?
That's the prep I get. Do I need a rocket launcher? Do I need a slingshot? What's going on?
Yeah, it was fun. Definitely fun.
And then you have the Monkey.
What's the Monkey?
Is, there was a movie in as an 80s kid, I remember like a handful of 12 different movies distinctly based on their VHS covers. And I thought, the poster for this movie exactly like a movie called Monkey Shines from the 80s, where that monkey toy from the 50s.
Yeah, with banging on the cymbals, right.
So this, not connected at all, just uses that same really disturbing for an unknown reason imagery. But it's about these two boys that find this monkey toy, and it doesn't go the way they planned.
Oh,
gotcha.
gosh.
A la Chucky.
It's super gory, but it's not so much scary as it is like a really dark comedy. Like they try to make it a comedy, but there's so much gore and death that you almost have to stretch a little bit for to call it a dark comedy.
Right.
Okay. But that being said, if that's your taste, it's actually a lot of fun. Okay. And another good movie for this weekend.
And, also out on streaming, we've been watching Paradise, which is incredible.
I have been dying to watch the first episode of that.
You
got to watch it. It's great.
I had Sterling K. Brown, I love. James Marsden, I love, but I don't think he's in it for long.
Yes, he is.
Oh, he is?
He is, good. Yeah.
But, certain shows come out and they get hyped up and they're like, well, that's not going to be anything. But
no, this is
other
strong.
ones get hyped up and you're like, that's going to be something.
There's
a little sci-fi twist there at the end.
That's what I got a feeling
at the first episode.
Yeah, it's very, very, very good. Paradise, and it has been renewed for a second season on Hulu.
It's excellent.
Awesome.
And also, I think Reacher comes out. The first
Reacher season 3. Oh God, I love Reacher.
And the first 3 episodes.
You guys want to hear a weird
today.
Reacher little bit of trivia?
Yeah.
Guess who his high school nemesis is?
Reacher, or the actor?
The actor Reacher.
I don't know who.
That guy Gates, the politician that's always in trouble.
Oh, I heard this the other day, Matt Gates.
Yeah, they hate each other.
Really?
They went to school together, absolutely hate each other, and still hate each other to this day.
Well, I can't say.
Well, I got to say, there's your episode of Reacher right there.
Yeah, the guy, I mean, just on the fact that it looks like Frankenstein and Dracula had a baby. But,
yeah. Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah,
huh,
they hate each other.
Oh, wow.
I know.
And I don't know if he said why, but he just said he didn't like him at all.
What's his name? Alan Richardson? Or?
Alan Richardson and
Alan Richson.
Richson.
And U.S. Representative Matt Gates.
They hate each other.
Hate each other.
Nemesis.
There's one more movie out this weekend if you really want to cry. The Unbreakable Boy, which is about a Zach Levi. It's kind of a faith-based movie, but it's not really over the top. But it's about this little boy and his father, and the little boy is autistic and he has brittle bone disease.
Oh my God!
It is an hour and 45 minutes of this adorable little boy just facing more
pain,
crap than we've ever faced in our lives every day.
Oh boy!
And just coming out smiling at the other end. So it intentionally fires shotguns at your heartstrings throughout the entirety of it. So.
Let me ask you this before we turn you loose. We went over it a little bit ago. What's your pick for best movie of the year before when the Oscars come out? Because I gave a nod to the Enclave.
For the movies that came out last year? Oh, for Conclave, you said?
Yeah.
Conclave, I would, but the ending was just too left field for me.
It was odd.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
I mean, realistically, I think Wicked's still got enough of the buzz to take everything. The Brutalist is like the artsy pick that I think will probably end up coming through.
I haven't seen The Brutalist
Something
yet.
with Adrian Brody. He does really crap movies 90% of the time, but once every 13 years, like some weird gypsy curse, he comes out with a Oscar-winning movie.
I think those other movies in the meantime are just to pump up the bank account, and then he does something
but
he's
goes
truly
really down to. I mean, you don't have to go that far down.
He does.